We are less than 2 weeks away from the Bengals' home opener and regular season opener, for that matter, as well, against the Patriots at Paycor Stadium. I'm excited, and I know you guys are excited too, so help me out and spam Who Dey for me in the comment section. The person that comments on this video the most will receive a shout out in a later video. So let's see what we can do as far as comments numbers go on this video. Spam your Who Days if you are excited for week 1. Bengals fans, what's going on? Stone Shields on hand for another edition of Bengals Breakdown, our second video of the day. And as we know, if you don't live under a rock, of course, CeeDee Lamb reached his extension today with the Dallas Cowboys. So naturally, Bengals, of course, having a star receiver of their own right, that brings questions up on whether or not this means anything for Ja'Marr Chase and his potential contract extension with the Cincinnati Bengals. So we're going to focus on that quite a bit here on today's video. Let's take a look at what exactly Lamb is working with as far as the details of his contract go. 4 years, total money $136 million, $34 million on average per year, and that guaranteed money is that $100 million mark for CeeDee Lamb. Of course, CeeDee Lamb and Ja'Marr Chase aren't in the same draft class, so Lamb is a bit ahead of schedule. And the biggest thing with Lamb is he had a ton of leverage. We'll kind of circle back to that in a little bit. But you see the numbers there from Lamb. He's clearly a top level wide receiver in this league. Now, is he the caliber of receiver, as the same caliber receiver as Ja'Marr Chase? Absolutely not. So I think also Ja'Marr Chase is going to be looking to get a lot more money in terms of what CeeDee Lamb got there. And, I don't think it's really a massive deal for Ja'Marr Chase, because when you take a look at the average per year for some of these receivers, it's not like CeeDee Lamb reset the market here. Justin Jefferson still has that mark. Now, if CeeDee Lamb went out there and gotten more per year than Justin Jefferson, I think that would have had significant impact on Ja'Marr Chase. But he didn't do that. Obviously, good for Lamb. He gets his money, and that saga with Dallas comes to an end. But I don't think there's too much of implications as far as Ja'Marr goes. Now, when you look at the guaranteed side of things, I think, as we know, this has been the biggest issue. Ja'Marr's been very out front and outspoken about the fact that this has kind of been the biggest reason as to, why negotiations haven't taken that next level for the Cincinnati Bengals. So I think he's certainly going to be looking in that $100 million range, and it really wouldn't surprise me if he's looking to get a little bit more than his buddy Justin Jefferson in terms of that guaranteed money. So that leads us to the pinned comment of today's show. Will Ja'Marr Chase get an extension before week 1? Obviously, we've asked you guys this question a lot throughout the offseason, but, with this another star receiver getting his deal, we're going to ask it here again. And I think it's certainly a lot of people out there think that this could, have impact. Again, in a moment, we'll get to why exactly I don't. But sound off for us in the comments section. Type Y for yes or type N for no. Like I've said several times already on today's show, to me, the Lamb deal doesn't mean a ton for Chase. And the biggest reason for that is he didn't leapfrog Justin Jefferson's numbers, right? It's not like he reset the market. That's not what happened today down in Dallas. Justin Jefferson is still the highest paid receiver in the National Football League. And I think that's what Ja'Marr Chase has sights on. And he certainly wants to at least get close to what Justin Jefferson got. So while, this CeeDee Lamb deal certainly is big for Lamb, I don't think there's too much of an impact as far as Ja'Marr Chase and, his contract extension that he is looking for. And also, CeeDee Lamb had leverage, right? Again, he was drafted before Ja'Marr Chase. They're not in the same draft class. Ja'Marr doesn't have any leverage, right? The team doesn't really need to be forced into action here because they're kind of just sitting back and, obviously they want to extend Ja'Marr Chase. They want him to be a big part of their future, and he 100% will be. But there's not, as Mike Brown said, there's not really a sense of urgency, really. Because the Bengals are kind of doing this on their own terms. And, it is kind of confusing because, this is the cheapest they'll be able to get Ja'Marr Chase. But, for whatever reason, they want to wait back. And it seems like their plan all along has been to get this done next offseason. But we'll see. There's still plenty of time left in terms of between now and week 1. Of course, we'll keep you posted on whether or not Ja'Marr Chase gets that extension. We'll have a video for you, of course, if he does. The guaranteed money is the biggest issue. Ja'Marr has come out and said that. Again, he's going to be working well into that $100 million range. So another question for you guys. Would you make Ja'Marr Chase the highest paid wide receiver? Type 1 for yes or type 0 for no. I think at this point, he's got to get more than, I think, Lamb, certainly. As far as if he gets more than Jefferson, I don't know. But it's just as the receiving market just continues to go up, I do believe when he gets his deal, especially if it's next year, next offseason, he will become the highest paid wide receiver in the National Football League. Want to give a shout out to our friends over at Factor Meals because they are the sponsor of today's show. With football season about to fully take off, I don't have time to cook. That's why I use Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh but never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great-tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart a new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? Crush your wellness goals this month with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. So head to factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 and use code BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's code BengalsChat50 at factormeals.com/BengalsChat50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. Another idea that we've tossed around here on today's show or on past shows here at Bengals Breakdown, and really as each day goes by, this really just continues to heat up for me at least, and that is a potential Samaje Perine reunion with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Broncos are expected to part ways with running back Samaje Perine, and this certainly could lead to a return to Cincinnati. This is what Ian Rappaport had to say, what he posted on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He said the Broncos are expected to move on from respected 8-year veteran running back Samaje Perine, sources say. The team is engaged in a number of trade conversations around Perine, and it could be a trade rather than a release. A numbers crunch in the running back room, so he's available in a trade. Samaje Perine, the numbers don't exactly jump out at you, but the biggest thing with Perine is he had a role with this team in Cincinnati. Maybe more important than that, he had trust with Joe Burrow, especially on those third down packages when he would come in there and be a blocker and be somebody that they could go to in the screen game. You think about the play in Kansas City where he took it to the end zone for a touchdown, really changed the whole trajectory of that game, and they don't go to the Super Bowl without Samaje Perine. We take a look at their running back depth chart. Look, they're going to get a fourth running back in some capacity. They let Noah Cain go. Elijah Collins is still sticking around for now, but I assume his time is going to come here before this time tomorrow, that he will be waived. And Travion Williams, I think the Bengals like what they have in him, but the fact he got so much time that last preseason game, that shows me they're willing to go in a different direction as far as a third running back. I think Travion Williams would be that fourth guy, but I think they're looking to bring someone in at that RB3 spot. Here's what Kelsey Conway of the Inquirer had to say. Does a great job covering the Bengals, of course. She said, I think I know of a team that really likes Samaje Perine and is in need of a third running back. Of course, she is referring to the Cincinnati Bengals. So it really feels like it's only a matter of time before the Bengals add a running back. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened in the next day or two. And, of course, when you think about the running back names that they could potentially add, the one that jumps out at you the most is Samaje Perine. Once again, an opportunity for you guys to get interactive with our show here at Bengals Breakdown. Do you want Perine back in Cincy? Type A for yes, type B for no. This is an A for me, right? I think you feel really good about what you have in a running back room, especially a guy like Chase Brown, Zach Moss. There's some expectation there and some hope there. But as far as that running back three, would love to have Samaje Perine. Would I trade for him and eat some of that salary? Probably not. But if he, happens to get officially get cut by Denver and he kind of falls into your lap as far as a waiver claim, would 100% add Samaje Perine back to your roster if I'm Cincinnati. Another cut that the Bengals announced today, Justin Blazek, defensive end. He played Division III football and then as an undrafted guy was brought on to the Cincinnati Bengals, and that dropped their roster down to 74 guys, which, again, by this time tomorrow will be a lot less than that. Blazek's a guy that I thought played well in the preseason. Really flew around, made some plays. I think he's a guy the Bengals would like to have on their practice squad if he doesn't get claimed in waivers, honestly. They have that lack of depth there at that defensive end spot. There's some question marks there. Not a ton of bodies that are going to be out there. So it'll be interesting to see if Blazek gets picked up by another team. Again, really liked what I saw from Blazek in the preseason games. Thought he did a nice job. Had 5 tackles. Had some quarterback hurries. Had a sack as well. So I think Blazek's a guy that the Bengals would really like to have on their practice squad if nobody else happens to pick him up.